Today is May 6, 2022. I'm Marty Coleman, but you're not going to hear much from me. You're going to hear most of everything from Parker Coleman. Without further ado, Parker Coleman.
Took a few game notes, none of the extensive scoring that I talk about. They also did a little bit of who's hot and who's not. Um, so yeah, it's just that. I wanted to put out a video. Angels versus Red Sox first game. Ohtani doing some Babe Ruth stuff. 786 hits, no walks, 11 strikeouts, 2-4 on the day. Also scored a run. Walsh, along with Ohtani, propelled the Angels to the win as he had a 4 RBI game, 2-4 home run. Story is booed by the Red Sox crowd after going 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Now, I do understand Story hasn't been very good. I can understand frustration on the Red Sox part, especially for what I'm going to mention and who's hot and who's not. But I think Story's going to break out. I think he's going to end up doing pretty well. And, yeah, he hasn't been performing, so it's not like a surprising or anything like that. But I think he's going to break out, do well. He's not that bad of a hitter. The Reds are a team. A good team, no. A bad team, that might not be the right word. They're something. They're a team, definitely, but we don't know what type of team they are. The Reds were blowing out an early lead. I noticed this on Wednesday, they led 2-0. Lost it in the first inning, I believe. And then yesterday, they led 3-0. And also lost the lead in the first inning once the Brewers came to bat. 6 Brewers home runs by Urias, Yelich, 2 times by Adames, Taylor, and Hero. 6 home runs were propelled the Brewers for the lead, for the win. Hunter Green gets shelled, 2 2/3, 9 hits, 8 runs, gives up 5 home runs. So those are the few notes from that game. Brewers win 10-5. I might have forgotten to say this, but the Angels beat the Red Sox 8-0. Rockies Nationals. The Rockies won 9-7, take the series after losing the first game. I highlighted 3 different performances. Rogers was 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs, home run, and a double. He had a good day for the Rockies. Hampson hit a home run in his first game back. He's only played 5 games so far. He's on the injured list. Then Soto goes 2 for 3, RBI, home run, 2 walks. Soto hasn't been as good as he was last year. I mean, it's hard to be as good as he was last year. Still a good player. Nothing really to worry about. I just thought I'd mention that he had a Soto-like performance that he had last year. In Cleveland, they play Toronto. Cleveland beats them 6-5. Another 1-run game for the Blue Jays. Kwan hit his first home run of his career. So that was a good thing. Aaron Savali, entering this game, his ERA was about 11. And he's made all his starts. One of the reasons why the Guardians have been failing so far. But he didn't look that bad. 5 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, 8 strikeouts, no walks. Nothing earth-shattering necessarily, but it's not terrible, horrible, awful like he had been so far this year. And the Jays was a run game. They did trail 6-2 and they rallied. Home run by Alejandro Kirk. Who's that? Alejandro Kirk. But they would lose 6-5 and the rally would fall short. Rallies that didn't fall short happened in Philadelphia. Nola pitched a gem. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 7 strikeouts, a walk. A 7-run 9th inning for the Mets. A few highlights would be Lindor homering. Davis and Marte both had RBI doubles. The Mets would rally to be down 6. First time a 6-run or how do I say this? I don't want to say 6-run rally because we saw the game in Houston against New York. A team trailing by 6 in the 9th inning ended up winning since 1997. Astros only trailed by 5 during that game. Still both incredible comebacks for both. I didn't want to confuse by saying 6-run rally because the Astros scored 6 runs in that 9th inning. You probably would have mentioned that to me. But the Mets win 8-7. And, man, if you thought that the Phillies weren't going to be mediocre, then think again. I'm not surprised at all by this. It still sucks for Philadelphia fans. I did rag on them a little bit, but I do feel bad for fan bases, unless it's like the Yankees fan base or whatever, because they have enough rings for a lifetime. But the Phillies are the losingest team in MLB history. They're the most losses in MLB history. I don't know about percentage-wise. That's probably the Padres. And, yeah, they've had to deal with this for a few years. So, yeah, I do feel bad for Philadelphia fans. Carlos Correa possibly fractured his finger. Mountcastle had a 2-home-run game yesterday. Hayes homered and would mock Correa's celebration. Totally expect a walk-off home run against the Orioles for Carlos Correa next time when the Orioles come to Minnesota. And I probably would expect it anyways because they're the Orioles. But, I mean, to be fair, the pitching has gotten better.
Without John Means, too.
Yeah, without him. Twins would split the series with the O's after winning the first 2. And Correa's injury comes right before they face the Astros. So last year, Springer hurt himself and didn't get to face the Astros. Came back for 2 games and hurt himself, didn't get to face the Astros again. And then this year, we thought we were going to see him again after a hit by a pitch, but he only missed 1 game, then we saw him again, and he had 2 home runs against us in that series, and then he destroyed us in the other series. The point is that the Astros haven't gotten to play their former players very much, and now you're missing Correa.
That goes for Mike Fiers, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now he's in Mexico or something like that because he's not a very good pitcher. Speaking of the Astros, Houston and Detroit, this is probably the weirdest game of the night. So Altuve's home run on the first pitch of the game, and I think his nether regions are fine. He had a good night last night, and he just came ready. I was surprised to see him in the lineup, but he did contribute. Pena hits another home run, and if you look at batting average, you think Pena's not that good. Rookies, he's killing it. Second slugging, most home runs by a rookie, a top of WAR by a rookie. Defense maybe he needs a little bit of work, but he's still great on defense for a rookie.
Most of his issues on defense come on relatively routine plays, right? He makes very good plays, very hard plays, but sometimes they're not routine, I would say, but routine plus.
It hasn't cost the Astros any games. This is going to be a topic that I'm about to get to because Preston would come back off the IL, and after Cabrera, the reason why I mentioned Pena's defense is because Cabrera, he'd get a hit. He's ahead of Al Kaline now. He's 30th overall, all-time in hits. But he passed another Tiger, Al Kaline. It looked like it went off of Pena's glove. It's a tough play. Somebody was saying that Pena's defense cost the Astros maybe once this season. And if you're expecting to be Correa on defense in his first year, you're ridiculous. You're insane. You're stupid. You're a madman or a mad woman if you are a woman. But after Cabrera reaches, Candelario on the final strike hits a 2-run home run, and we go to the 9th inning. 9th inning is what made this game so weird. We started off with Yordan Alvarez. I put homers, and then I crossed it out and put singles because he hit a ball he thought was a home run. Everyone thought it was a home run. We thought it was a home run. The fans in Minute Maid Park thought it was a home run. It's off the Papa John sign, and he's held to only a single. And Alvarez, he handled it very, very well, very mature for a 24-year-old. I do want to see him showboat if he does get a home run, though, because that's part of the reason why I watched it. Not really, but it just makes it entertaining. So that was the weird part.
I definitely thought it was a home run. As you know, I jumped out of the chair.
Yeah.
And then sat back down.
Yeah. And then we jumped out of the chair. Gurriel gets a horrible call called on him. 3-2 count. Luckily for the Astros, Yuli walks. And this is the same guy the day before who had fun with Madison Bumgarner's hands. So he's not having a good couple days. And then Tucker, he hits the game-winning RBI single, nearly hits Chas McCormick. And so yeah, it was a really weird game, a really weird 9th inning. The Astros do win. That's what matters for them. Speaking of low scoring, Machado hits 2 home runs for the Padres, only 2 runs they score. However, since it's the Marlins, they only score 1 run off of Nick Martinez. Martinez would go 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 4 strikeouts, a walk. Marlins are back under 500 after their 7-game winning streak. So that really changed. Maybe since I'm mentioning it, they'll start a new winning streak today. Rays Seattle. Zunino homers against his former team. 4 runs in the 4th inning for the Rays. Those are the only 4 runs they score on the night. Winker and Frazier homer. Both these guys are looking for slump-busters. Maybe it's here. Then here's some troubling statistics. The Mariners are 3-4 in 1-run games so far this year. And again, they were 33-19 last year. And what's more, I didn't look at their blowout numbers for this year. But they were 11-28 in blowouts last year. So I think you can see how good the team was. But what is also troubling is that they're 7-3 at home, but 5-11 on the road. And you have 81 games at home and 81 games on the road. You got to win both in both places. Because you only have so many games at home. If you can't go 81-0 at home, again, you can't go 0-81 on the road. But it's not good that they're struggling on the road so far. And they're this is kind of what I expected. I'm not going to rub it in anybody's face because the Mariners have enough to deal with. Mariners fans, I should say. Mariners don't care. The front office doesn't care anything about me. Cardinals Giants. Edmund goes 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs and a double. Molina gets his first home run. Giants would use 9 pitchers. And 2 innings would be the most for a guy. Zach Little, he got the loss because he gave up the Molina home run that put him up 1-0. Giants lose their 4th in a row. Now we're going to start off with who's hot and who's not. And I don't know how do I say this? The number ones are definitely number ones for a reason. However, some of these aren't in particular order. So, we're going to start off with with number 5, who's not. The Red Sox. 3-9 in the last 12 games. They're tied with the Orioles. 10-16 record for last place. Again, I'm not going to rub it in anybody's face, but who said that the Red Sox were going to fall off? Anybody? I didn't think they'd be this bad, but I definitely didn't think they'd be a World Series contender like people were saying they were. Astros are number 5 hot. I don't want to freak out because they've beaten the Tigers, they've beaten the Rangers, and they've beaten the Mariners. Although, who knows? The Mariners are supposed to win the World Series, are supposed to play baseball on Mars, are supposed to do all these certain things. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe that was a good series win for them. But they are 8-2 in their last 10, 1.5 games behind the Angels. Altuve, good at bats in the last 3 games. And whenever Altuve is going good, the Astros are going good. And when it's not going good, they're usually struggling. Hence the Diamondback series and the Angel series. Tucker is finally starting to get results. Tucker was never doing bad at all, hitting wise. Results wise, he was. The hitting wise, he was hitting the ball hard as much as he could. And yeah, people need to be more patient with the guys because because when a guy's not getting results, you have to be patient with him because he's not doing anything wrong. Tucker was so desperate that he started wearing batting gloves and he just destroyed his routine, which he's back in now. But he is very hot right now. Tigers aren't. Worst offense in baseball, least amount of runs scored, less than the Reds by 5. 2-9 in their last 11. And they have 74 runs, the Reds have 79. Tigers aren't hot right now at all. Honorable mention to the Padres, but I did give the Rays a spot. They won 4 in a row. And when you look at their stats, they're top 10 in the league in hits, batting average, slugging, OPS, hits allowed, opponent batting average, ERA, WHIP, and strikeouts per 9. So that's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, Padres, honorable mention, they definitely deserve to be mentioned right here. I think the Rays playing pretty solid. And who's not? Number 3, the Oakland Athletics. No, they are number 3 in the not category. A's have lost 6 in a row. 27th or lower in hits, batting average, on-base percentage, slugging, and OPS. Again, that doesn't sound very good. And I mean, it's a good thing that nobody's coming to the games anyways, because they'd be wasting their time, honestly. Sucks to say. It sucks that Oakland, historic baseball place is going to go out like this, but again, that's kind of how the cheap guys in the front office run things. Who's hot for number 3? The Dodgers. Dodgers are 15-5 in the last 20. Credit they played like 22 games, but 15-5 still a good record. That's all I mentioned. I didn't have enough time to look into any statistics. But they're the Dodgers, and whenever an LB season is going on, the Dodgers are probably going to be pretty good. Probably say better they're going to be hot like at any point in the season. I mean, heck, they had a stretch where they went like 2-10 or so last year, if I remember correctly. Like, because they started off 13-2, and I'm pretty sure they ended up being like 15-15 or 16-16, something like that. Still ended up winning 106 games. So that's how much that's there. Not for number 2 is going to be the Marlins. 5 losses in a row. Number 2 might be a little bit aggressive, but after winning 7 games in a row, you probably don't want to have less than 5 wins in a row. Their offense is back to looking not very good. Their bullpen is back at that too. Hot for number 2 is the Brewers, and the offense is waking up finally. They're 16-4 in their last 20. They're 18-8 right now, and 10 runs yesterday, 18 runs the day before. Damas had 7 RBI night. Tellez had 8 RBIs. They're hitting home runs everywhere. They're hot. They're pretty hot. And they could be a World Series contender if they could. I don't know if they could be this good, but if they continue being good, something like this, they could be a World Series contender. Oops, that's a hiccup. And who would you guess would be number 1 for not?
The Reds.
Yes. Okay, good. On pace to go 19 and 140.
Kind of like who's in Grant's tomb.
Yeah. On pace to go 19 and 143 right now. 1-20 in their last 21 games. 3-22 overall. Very horrible. If you look at the batting averages, it's all 100s or like a few low 200s. Their OPS pluses are all below 100 besides like 3 guys. Their starting is not much better. They're not good at all. I don't know if it took some genius to say that. And the number 1 hot team is the New York Yankees. not 12, 11 wins in a row. I was about to say 12. It did get snapped the other day. I can't say yesterday because that was on Wednesday that I got snapped to the Blue Jays. And even though again I said they weren't beating up on bad teams, 11 games still impressive. If they were to win like 2 out of 3 every time, I'd be like, yeah, they should win 2 out of 3 against the Orioles or the Royals or the Guardians. But sweeping them is hard. Sweeping a team in baseball is pretty hard. I mean, unless you're playing the Reds. But so it is impressive. Again, I just take it with a bit of a grain of salt. It's not it's not as impressive as an 11-game winning streak can be, but an 11-game winning streak is inherently impressive on its own, if that makes sense. Credit to the Yankees, playing good baseball. They play the Rangers this weekend. That game got rained out. There's going to be a doubleheader tomorrow, so they're probably going to have another series win. But yeah, Yankees, hottest team in baseball. Reds, the nottest team in baseball. I put that in there because there weren't 15 games yesterday, so I thought I had time to add that. Anyways, that's it.
That's it for today from Parker Coleman in a record 16 minutes and 6 seconds. Thanks, and we'll be back next time, whether that's tomorrow or another day, whenever Parker's ready for more. Thanks for tuning in.